Good morning and welcome to the Exposing Deception program. I'm your host, Brian DeLore, and today, for the first time since I've been broadcasting on this network, I am doing a broadcast on location from my place of work. And so the background noises you hear are not some malfunction. They are actually noises that are occurring where I'm now working. And this is sort of a challenge for me. I hope the noises aren't too loud, but I just couldn't get out to my vehicle to do the job. I beg your pardon, to do the broadcast. So I would prefer to do it there, but so I'm forced to do it here. And this is the best location I can find on the property to do it. And so please bear with me. I'm going to make this broadcast much shorter than I normally do, but I had something very important that I wanted to share with my audience, and that is the message, calling it like it is. We have been just inundated with situations in the past couple of weeks where people have lied, whether it's in a police report or before Congress. And it's just been very sad to see how things go in this world today because of political correctness and because of dishonesty and corruption. And what we have right now going on in Congress is just actually a travesty of justice taking place before our very eyes. But there is a verse of Scripture that deals with this. And the verse of Scripture is in the book of Isaiah, chapter 5, verse 20. It begins there, and it talks about woe unto them who call good evil and evil good, who put sweet for bitter and bitter for sweet. And you read these verses of Scripture, and you come down to verse 23, and it says that woe to those who acquit the guilty for reward. And I believe that is what we have just witnessed here last week with James Comey in his testimony before Congress, and also today's events with Attorney General, the disgraced Attorney General, Loretta Lynch. I call her Loretta Lynch Mob for a reason. And never before have I seen such dishonesty on display before the American public, and with an arrogance never before seen, at least not that I can remember. So this is what this verse of Scripture is applied to, or is pertaining to, rather, because these people, for political expediency, have declared Hillary Clinton not guilty of sending and receiving classified emails on her unlawful server, I believe it is. I could be wrong about the server part, but they're definitely sending and receiving classified emails, something which she has vehemently denied since she started running for office. And she denied it, and then the press conference with James Comey here last week, I believe it was. One thing was pointed out there correctly, that she did act recklessly, and she did receive several classified emails, but for some strange reason, and I'll leave it up to you to decide. James Comey, it went actually beyond the call of duty because it's not his job to prosecute a case. However, he decided that Hillary should face no criminal charges. Usually the FBI takes a case like that and then they turn it over to the Department of Justice. And then I hope I'm not making a mistake here. I'm pretty sure that's the way it goes. It's turned over to someone who then decides whether or not to prosecute the case. The case is not going to be prosecuted. So he testified all last week that, she did nothing wrong, and many of his colleagues and former colleagues have stated this guy is lying, and I believe he's lying. You can tell he's lying. And then today we have the Loretta Lynch mob basically taking what is tantamount to the Fifth Amendment. Every time she's asked a question, I don't know, I can't answer that, I have to refer you to someone else. And so it's very obvious what's going on, and it's really sickens me to my core to watch this happen. Now, my prayer is that God will intervene and supernaturally judge Hillary Clinton. I mean, and let's remember one thing. This all happened after Bill Clinton met with Loretta Lynch mob on her plane at an airport. Very strange set of circumstances surrounding this decision that was made very quickly after this meeting between Bill Clinton and Loretta Lynch mob. And so, it's just reeks of corruption. And I don't know how far Congress is able to go or how far they're willing to go to see that justice prevails in this case. I'm hoping, this isn't just a smoke and mirrors situation we see happening on TV before our eyes. Because, like, in other words, they pretend to be angry and they just can't believe this could happen, and you're evading the questions and so forth and so on, and at the end of the day they go, well, there's nothing we can do. I'm hoping that it's not going to be the case, but again, it's all in the hands of God. But taking that example and applying it to our lives, the same justice that God metes out to human beings will apply to us if we do something similar. We can't just do what we want to and pretend that we don't know what's going on, or for reward clear someone who's guilty. And of course, how many situations can we face where this could happen? It could be something as simple as covering for a coworker on a job to maintain that friendship, or something very similar to that. Like I said a few minutes ago, this is going to be a very brief message because I'm having a lot of difficulty hearing, and I don't know what you're hearing on your end, whether you're listening live or by way of download. So this is very serious business with God, as is evidenced by this verse of Scripture. And even Jesus said, and I can't quote chapter and verse, that in the last days men will call good evil and evil good. So this is Bible. The Bible being, let's put it this way. This is the Bible prophecy being fulfilled before our very eyes. And so with that, I'm going to go ahead and close out the program. I thank you once again for listening. I thank you for just a minute. I'm in the middle of a broadcast. So I thank you for listening and putting up with the noise in the background and the interruptions. And I will be back tomorrow with another broadcast, but I want you to think about what I just shared with you, because it's very, very important. And that's going to do it for the day. And once again, I thank you for listening. And as always, I leave you with this reminder to keep the faith and defend the truth. Have a good night, everybody.